Well, good afternoon, everybody. How's your morning been? I hope that you've been enjoying yourselves and having fun doing all your learning activities. And well done to everybody who's made it into school this morning. There's a lot of things to have to think about, isn't there, first thing, when you've not been used to it for so long. But well done. Top bravery points there. And for those of us at home as well, we've been doing work differently to what we would normally perhaps have been doing. So well done to you guys too. Superb stuff. So this afternoon, we're going to be doing some different activities again. We're going to be thinking about positive things that have come from lockdown. So what were the good things? What were the things that we've learned perhaps about ourselves? And thinking back to this morning with our tree of life, think about all those new skills and different ways of doing things that you've been learning. So there's lots of things that we can think back about and say, actually, although it wasn't what we'd hoped would be happening with our time, we actually, from that, have been able to take some good stuff. All right? Now, the other thing we're going to be doing this afternoon, which I'm going to be talking to you about now, is our craft creativity activity. Well, there's lots of ivities there, isn't there? Get a little bit of a tongue twister going on. So this week, in fact, for the next 3 weeks, I'm not sure how that works, it is Children's Art Week. So we've got 3 weeks of Children's Art Week, and each week there's a particular theme. So I'll put some links into the blurb that will go with this little clip for you. So you've got some more information about that. So this week's theme is the natural world. And so I thought it'd be really cool if we did some natural world artwork today and tomorrow. So we are going to be making and then creating a nature loom. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever made a loom or done some weaving before? So it's going to be a bit of a learning journey for all of us, isn't it, this week? So the first thing that we're going to have to do is to make the loom. So I'm going to need to go outside and collect some twigs. Now it's looking a little bit blustery, a little bit chilly, and I'm not even sure whether it might start to rain in the next few minutes. So I'm going to make sure that I put my coat on when I go outside. So I'm just going to go and collect some sticks, and then I'll meet you back here with some sticks and some twine or wool so that we can start to put our looms together. All right? I found this twig. It's quite a nice size, isn't it? Quite thick, and it's got some interest on it. Look, we can see there's some lichen on there, some growth, like that one. So it's got a nice shape, and it's got some interest to it. I'm going to keep having a look in the little borders. Now that's an elder. We see loads of these growing in the hedgerows along the paths, don't we? And they've got lots of little twigs that have been snapping off in this wind. So I'm going to have a look to see if I can find any at the base. Now, this is a rosemary plant that I've got grown in my garden. And it's really, really old and tired. And so I can see here I've got some really woody parts of it that need to be snapped off anyway, just to keep the plant healthy. So I might have to nab a piece of that too. So I'm back indoors with my selection of twigs. So let's see which ones are going to be the most suitable and what kind of a shape I can make for my nature loom. So here's my selection of twigs that I'm going to use to make my loom. I've got my twine and my scissors. So if we just look at these twigs, now this one, that's just a little bit too thin. You see, that's not really going to have much stability to it. So I'm just going to pop that one to the side. I'm definitely not going to use that. This one, although it's a lovely looking twig, it's more of a branch, isn't it? It's got some really great markings on it, but I think that's just going to be a little bit too big, because remember, whichever twigs you select, that's going to determine the size of your loom that you're going to have to find things to sew into it. Now this one, I was a little bit sneaky. I have trimmed this off of a bush, but it won't hurt it. It's an elder and there's lots and lots of elder. Now you can see here, this is just far too bendy. But this bit in the middle here, that will be fine. Now, if you are snipping from bushes, make sure there's an adult with you, because you don't want to just go out into the garden and start cutting your parents' plants to pieces, do you? And if you're on a walk, then you need to be very careful of what you're doing with the hedgerows. So I'm going to use this piece because it's a really nice shape. So I'm definitely going to have that bit. And then these leaves that I've just trimmed off, put those out of the way. So I want 4 pieces. I've got 1 piece. I really liked that piece of apple that I found with all of the lichen on. So I'm going to use that as well. But I might have to trim a bit off of it. We will see. So I've got 1, 2. So I need another piece. I had a piece that I took from my rosemary plants, didn't I? So I'm going to use that. So that leaves me with 1 more piece out of the ones that I've got left. And these are all ideal sizes. Look at those, perfect sizes, not too thick, not too thin. I'm going to use, I think, maybe this one because it's a similar length. Right, so these ones I'm not going to be using. They're my spares. So now I'm going to put my loom together. So I'm going to have a top and a bottom and then 2 sides. And so what I need to do now is to tie those together. So that's where my twine or my string, my rope, my wool, whatever you have, is going to be used. So are you ready? Let's tie them together. And so there it is. This is my frame. And you can see all I've done is I've just attached, first of all, 2 sides to one another and then popped them all together. So I've just tied the corners here. And you see it's not massive. It doesn't want to be huge because, like I say, if you make it so big, then you're going to struggle to get it filled. So now on the frame, I'm going to just create the loom. So we do that by taking another piece of twine. This one's going to be longer. It could be wool, it could be whatever you want. It might be funky just to use some different colours anyway, but this is all I've got. I've just got gardening twine. So I'm just going to tie it to one corner, and I'm going to tie it to the top left corner. So when you do that, you want to look at your frame and think which way round, you know, what way's the face. So I'm going to actually change my mind because I really liked the different patterns that was on these twigs this way around. So I'm going to start by attaching my piece of string to this top left corner. So I'm just going to tie it on there nice and securely and squeeze it in the top left corner. I'm going to double knot that. I'm sure it's got a special name. There we go. So now I'm just going to take my twine down to the bottom. So you see I'm just going down to the bottom, curl it over, thread it back through. And then I'm just going to do that one more time on that same place, just to give it some stability. So I go through that twice, you see? So I go round once and then just go round again. And then this time I'm going to take it up to the top, like so. So here it is, my finished nature loom, ready for tomorrow when we will be collecting, going out on a scavenger hunt and finding some different things that we want to weave into our loom. Now you will see it's wonky, it wiggles around, nothing's going to be perfect on them because that's the whole point. It's about us being resilient and looking at them and thinking, oh dear, there's a little bit of a problem that keeps bending the wrong way. How can I solve that? And just thinking about the way in which we can work with all these different types of materials and nature. So on your way home from school this afternoon, as you walk, you may find some different bits of nature that you want to collect, ready to bring in tomorrow. Maybe some feathers. Good luck. Have fun getting creative with your knots and with your twigs. And I look forward to seeing your nature looms.